From time to time, you will have a RINO who is so disconnected from conservatism and their constituents that they really deserve their own greatest hits album. And I don't know anybody that has been doing it better and perhaps longer than my very own Todd Gardenhire, Senator here from Hamilton County. And in lieu of the Big Seven, since I covered all of that with Michael Yaffee, with expertise and panache, I must say, I'm going to bring you, and everyone has been asking for this, Todd Gardenhire's greatest hits. And it includes some of the chart toppers, like Speak Up, Sonny, I'm Deaf, some of my personal favorites, such as Constituent, Shut Your Mouth, and you've heard this one before, I Am Legally Disabled. And we all know that. We never make fun of the mentally challenged or the morally corrupt here at the Tennessee Conservative. And so I bring to you, as we head into Easter weekend, I'm taking off tomorrow for Good Friday, and we're going to have a smashing celebration here at the Lewis household, the wonderful dulcet tones and the classic hits of one Senator Todd Gardenhire. Enjoy.
And if you SOBs want to snap your fingers to get the hell out of this committee, because it's disrupting me being able to hear the witness and anybody else. It's stupid. That's with 3 O's in the middle. Say it out loud. Stupid. Had to vote in how many presidential elections? And
three out of the last 4
Excuse
Republican
me, I'll
primaries.
interrupt you in a minute if you'll keep your mouth shut until I'm finished asking a question. You got that?
Yes, Senator.
Good. You're treading on thin ice, Senator Taylor.
Well, I will do what most people do on thin ice, and that will be move with great speed.
That's good. Goodbye. Don't come back.
I wear it because I respect other people. By the same token, if they don't wear a mask around me, I'm very quick to back up and say, you don't have a mask on.
Define Republican.
Do you want the?
I want you to define.
You want me to define
You use
Republican?
that term 2 or 3 terms, so I want you to define Republican. You can define however you want to, but you're going to be on the record.
All right. I consider a Republican someone who holds conservative values, who honors the Constitution, who, because they claim to be a Republican, is going to follow the Republican Party platform.
But you've said before, had to vote in how many presidential elections? And
Three out of the last 4
Excuse
Republican
me, I'll
primaries.
interrupt you in a minute if you'll keep your mouth shut until I'm finished asking a question. You got that?
Yes, Senator.
Good. Now, you've defined Republicans 2 or 3 ways. I want you to pick one and stick with it. And don't interrupt me again.
Senator, are you asking me or are you
I'm asking you.
the-
You're testifying. Nobody else in this room is up here but you. And I'm asking you directly. You define Republican 2 different ways. I want you to pick one and stick with it.
Senator, you were asking my personal opinion. I gave you my personal opinion. The state.
Give it again. You've given 2 different ones.
Senator, I said a Republican is a conservative, someone who holds conservative values, who honors the Republican Party platform. Now, Senator, you're asking how this, are you asking how the state Republican Party defines Republican? And what I said is the state defines it as someone who has voted in 3 out of the last 4 Republican primaries.
Have you ever heard of the Sharon Statement, September 1960?
No, Senator.
I didn't think you had. It defines, that's when libertarians and conservatives got together at Sharon, Connecticut, at the home of William F. Buckley, and they defined what a conservative was. It had nothing to do with red meat issues that pop up all the time. So when you say conservative values, those things seem to change from election to election depending on what's exciting in here. But I would rather vote for somebody and have a candidate that has a principled definition of a conservative and not just throw that name around just to make it convenient for somebody to stand up and say, I'm a conservative because I hate so-and-so, or I don't like this. So you've confused this whole panel about what a Republican is and what a conservative is. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator.
Do we have any other questions? I don't see any. We're going to stop. Thank you all very much for being here. And Mr. Hickey, thank you for your service also.
Honor with the Tennessee County Services Association, we would be in agreement with much of what Mr. Jenkins just said. The only other thing I know to add is a few years ago there was legislation on this same topic, and as he referenced, there have been Supreme Court cases.
If you could speak into the mic and not turn your head, that would be greatly appreciated. It's the last time I'm going to say that.
Thank you, sir. It's my apologies. To add, the only thing I'll add to what Mr. Jenkins said,
and we need to put on a warning so these farmers, these good farmers, will know, hey, you could get cancer from this. It's up to you to decide if you want to take that chance or not.
Excuse me. I'm extremely hard of hearing. I'm considered a handicapped person. And if you SOBs want to snap your fingers, you get the hell out of this committee, because it's disrupting me being able to hear the witness and anybody else. That's totally irresponsible. It's rude, and it's stupid. That's with 3 O's in the middle. Say it out loud. Stupid. No more snapping of the fingers. We'll clear this room. Y'all got that? It's disruptive. If you're a male and have a hat on, you need to take that hat off. Somebody remind this gentleman here reading his cell phone that the rules of the Senate. He's ignored me twice. You have to take your hat off, son. Yeah, mumble, mumble, mumble. We don't go for that. All right. If you're a woman and have a hat on, you're allowed to have it on. That's my mother's rules. So with that, ready to take Senator Kyle on item number 75?
No, roll call.
That's good. Goodbye.
Roll call.
Don't come back. Item number 75, Senate Bill 1457.
First of all, I support the bill. And this bill will go over with my district attorney about like a pregnant pole vaulter, which is to say not very good. So my question is on section 3, where it talks about state governmental entities enacting sanctuary policy. What about a district attorney who is not part of a legislative body, but they enact their own?
Let's leave that alone if you don't mind. I'm going to call you out of order on that. Let's stay on the bill. Let's don't go back to your local situation.
Mr. Chairman, I wasn't referring to my local
too.
situation. I had a specific question about how this section pertains to district attorneys. And it says adopt or enact sanctuary policy. I'm just wanting to know how a district attorney may enact a particular policy that would be subject to this bill.
You're treading on thin ice, Senator Taylor.
Well, I will do what most people do on thin ice, and that will be move with great speed to get to the shore. I think my question, Mr. Chairman, I think you'll find it appropriate if I could.
Instead of referring to Memphis, why don't you refer to all? Let's leave your personal thing out of it, okay?
I did, Mr. Chairman. I said DAs.
You mentioned Memphis, and you mentioned your local DA.
Okay.
Let's move on and move it on correctly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To my question, DAs, how will this impact them? Because obviously they're not part of a legislative body that is enacting policy, but they're able to enact policy on their own. So would this apply to district attorneys is my question.
I saw you being interviewed today. You know, you're wearing a mask, and so clearly, I know there's a lot of debate around that. So what are your thoughts on COVID? How the state's handling it? We know there's a spike in rural areas the last several days. Your thoughts on where we are, what needs to happen now?
Well, first of all, absolutely nobody in this world understands this COVID virus yet. Let's just get that on the table. Everybody thinks they've got an opinion, and that's great, and I listen to all of them. I'm over 70 years old. The statistics say that if somebody over 70 years old has an underlying condition, probably has got a 30% chance to live. That means that's 60-something% chance to die. Now, I didn't have Common Core math, okay, but I don't think those odds are too good. So out of respect, I know that if I wear a mask, I put a mask on, I put this mask on right here, I'm not really protecting myself. Now, this is a very thick mask that my wife had made for me. I'm not protecting myself as such, but I'm protecting somebody else. I might have that virus. I know that I've been exposed 4 times to the virus, and I've tested negative each 4 times. And I've had to quarantine myself for 14 days each time. I don't want to do that. I hope everybody else wears a mask. I can't make anybody wear a mask, but I try everywhere I go to put a mask on and wear it. I'm not taking sides politically with anybody. I'm not saying somebody's right, somebody's wrong. I wear it because I respect other people. And I want them to know that I respect their health care. By the same token, if they don't wear a mask around me, I'm very quick to back up and say, you don't have a mask on. And if they like it, fine. If they don't like it, that's fine. But I'm going to leave everybody have their own personal. Now, by the way, just so you know, under the guidelines that the federal government set out on who is exempt from wearing a mask, I'm in one of those categories. You say, why are you in that category? So theoretically, I don't have to wear a mask legally. That's my hearing. I'm almost totally deaf in my left ear and way over 50% in that ear. And if you wear a mask, if somebody's wearing a mask, I can't read their lips. I can't figure out what they're saying. Plus, when they got that mask on, it sounds like Charlie Brown. Now, why would I not wear a mask when I can't hear? It's not me I'm trying to hear, it's that other person. But I don't want to hear them if they don't have if they've got a mask off. So I wear a mask even though legally I don't have to wear a mask. But I think it's appropriate for me to do and to show my respect for other people. Let me tell you, you talk about diversity. Our police department is horrible at diversity. I just got some information the other day for since September 1st, 2012. We have 33% in the city of Chattanooga that's African American, and we have less than 15% of all the officers, sergeants, patrolmen, everybody else that's African American. And where do we recruit? We recruit from Atlanta. We don't recruit from the churches. I haven't talked to a single pastor that's had a recruiting police officer come to that church and say, okay, young people, let me talk to you. Let me tell you what we need. Let me tell you what you can do. You want to stop George Floyd from happening again? You join up and be a policeman. But here's the things you've got to do that. And here's the career that you can have. It is a real job. It is a job that helps your community. I haven't found a single church that's happened yet.
So are you putting that on the police department?
I'm putting it squarely back on the Chattanooga Police Department. No questions. It's their fault. They've had the chance to correct that problem. They either don't listen to the community or they don't care. I challenge the chief of police to respond to that.
Senator Gardenhire. Senator Gardenhire, are you willing to give up your health insurance? Senator Gardenhire.
Give it up, asshole.
Give it up. Why don't you give it up?